A study from the U.S. Forest Service shows more than 90% of Southern California wildfires are apparently caused by people. Peggy Pico is at the roundtable talking about what can be done to improve the situation.
Last weekend on Mount Helix, a man accidentally started a fire with his weed whacker while trying to clear dry brush. The fire quickly burned through half an acre before crews were able to contain it. It reminds us that while we enjoy fireworks, campfires, barbecues during hot summer days, in fire-prone San Diego County, we have to be better prepared. Joining me to talk about how to keep from sparking a fire is interim San Miguel Fire Chief Gary Croucher. Chief Croucher, thank you so much for being here. Temperatures right now in East County, 80s to 90s. What's the fire danger right now?
Right now they're pretty extreme. It's not just the temperatures alone, but it's the duration of the temperatures, which affects the fuel moistures. And it also affects, as the temperatures come up, but it affects the firefighters' ability to be able to actively go out and fight the fire as well. But currently, extreme conditions in the East County. And
high risk. And we'll talk more about what we can do about that. But CAL FIRE says 5,500 acres have burned in California so far this year in San Diego County for wildfires. Are there any current fires you guys are working on right now?
None currently in San Diego. There's some north of us. Yesterday there was about 75 acres in the San Bernardino mountains, and then further up the state, there's some other fires that we have sent, or CAL FIRE has sent some resources to assist with.
Okay, here's what's interesting is U.S. Forest Service put out some stats that were really surprising. Something like 94% of the wildfires in Southern California are caused by people. Are those arson, accidents? Does that surprise you?
It's a higher number than what I initially would have expected, and it's really all of them together, how they start, regardless of whether it would have been a arson fire, whether it would have been an accidental fire, whether it had been a fire that was a controlled burn that escaped. But yeah, it's 94% is a pretty high number.
Yeah, we were just looking at video from the 07 fires, and was that was sparked by a person?
I believe so. There was the Harris fire in 2007 that I believed was caused by a human, and that's why one of the things is being here today. It's just really us, a partnership with the media, to be able to educate people. It's not it's common sense type of things that are happening that affect it. It's like the fire that was on Mount Helix that we had within San Miguel just a couple days ago. One of the residents of a homeowner trying to do the right thing, weed eating, getting the weeds around, clearing the home. We asked for a 100-foot clearance from around the home with a 50-foot of all vegetation, but he set the weed eater down, and he set it down into the vegetation, and the exhaust from the weed eater was hot, and it sparked a vegetation fire. So he was trying to do the right thing, but just forgot some of the precautionary things that you should take into consideration.
Let's talk about the tips. Let's talk about, we have a little graphic we can put up for folks at home watching. Let's talk about the tips when you are clearing dry brush. What are a couple of the things? No power tools, you said.
Well, you can do power tools if you do it before 10 in the morning. As the day goes on, the heat index comes up. So if you're going to use your power tools before 10 in the morning, make sure that you have a water source close by. Make sure you have a shovel. One of the things we ask people to do too is make sure that they carry their cell phone with them. That if a fire starts, call us right away. The impact that we can make on a small fire is much better than letting the fire get large. But even when you fuel power tools, make sure you fuel them in the right area, over concrete or into the dirt away from the brush, but never fill them all the way, because you overfill them, and next thing you know, you have a fire on your hands.
And lawnmowers too. You're saying that lawnmowers aren't made for clearing brush.
Yes, lawnmowers are not made for clearing brush. They're made for mowing your lawn. The people start to use them in the brush areas, and they hit a rock, which causes a spark. And then once again, with the lower humidities and the higher heat index, we then have a fire once again.
We're talking about these little fires at this point. How fast can that spread, and how quickly can it turn into something disastrous?
In a matter of moments. It's not only can turn disastrous with injury to yourself, or a lot of time with kids that are unsuspecting, but just with it takes just a little gust of wind, enough fuel load that's there, and a matter of minutes, the fire can have escaped your ability to control it, even with the right resources.
Are people who accidentally start fires, or even people who purposely start fires, are they fined for starting those fires?
It depends. We look at a case-by-case basis with those. For example, the Mount Helix event. This is a gentleman that was trying to do the right thing, wasn't malicious by any means, and we were able to put the fire out in a very quick manner with minimal resources. He will not be getting a bill. Now, if it's arsonists, absolutely. Arsonists, we go after full cost recovery. And not only is it a deterrent, but it also helps us with the costs that we're dealing with on a regular basis.
So case-by-case basis, but
yes.
Better just to prevent the whole thing.
Absolutely, through common sense type of events.
All right, Chief Croucher, thank you so much for joining us and for those great tips.